we started a new series, and this one's been kind of interesting. We started it Saturday, and I had a couple, and I had a couple Sunday this morning, and we had some tonight, and um, but we're missing some regulars. I know a couple of reasons why some of our regulars are missing. We've got one who emailed me that we'd be in prayer for his mom. She's been diagnosed for brain cancer, and they're not giving her much hope. So we need to keep her in prayer. We also need to pray for a young lady who spoke to talk, member of her family or friend. Or, I didn't catch all the story, but a very close person to her life committed suicide over the weekend. He left a wife and two teenage sons, and so we need that family. I ask that if you're interested, see me after service, and I'll give you the link so that you can join our prayer app if you haven't done so already. The prayer app is just that. It's just a way you can leave prayer requests for each other and minister to each other. That's the whole reason that we have the prayer app. So, ever realized just how unique Christianity is? I mean, truly unique it is. You know, we teach, and we teach, the Bible believes, the Bible teaches, God incarnate, the creator of the universe, took on human form and came to our planet for 30 days, 33 years, became one of us. And then we know from John that he rose in the grave. So we're teaching that God incarnate, the God himself, came to earth, submitted, was crucified, rose again, so that we could be redeemed. I mean, you got to admit, that's different from any other religion. It also means that since Jesus made those claims, he can't be just a good guy. I'm sorry. I know there are people out there who teach that, well, Jesus, I mean, even Islam teaches that Jesus was a prophet. But then they have to ignore half of what he said. Because he said that he was, the Father and I are one. And there's no way to the Father except through the Son. I mean, it doesn't allow for Islam or Judaism or any other religion to unify you. He was just a good guy and a good prophet. It's not possible. You see, you have three choices. He's either who his disciples testify he is after his resurrection, or he's a liar, or a lunatic. A liar on bounds with the world's greatest con artist. Because he managed to pull off a hoax that convinced not only the people close to him, but millions. In Jerusalem alone, 500 people saw him after his resurrection. He so convinced Thomas that Thomas out presenting the gospel in India and was speared to death for proclaiming the way of grace. Was beheaded. Peter was crucified. James was stoned to death. And that's a pretty good trick, considering that it was his brother. I mean, if he was, he would claim James would be his half-brother because they had different dads. Jesus was God, and James was the son of Joseph. But if Jesus was just playing, even his brother converted and proclaimed the gospel and saw him risen. You know, John was one of the few disciples who wasn't crucified or executed or stoned or driven or whatever for his faith. He's the only one who survived to old age. But Domitian, who was one of the most bloodiest emperors who lived, tired of hearing of the way, so he figured he'd get rid of him, so he threw him on an island called Patmos, where he died as a hermit. He wrote these words, and this is John, the guy sitting on the island. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. You know, God was one of us. That he actually took on human form and joined us on this planet. Kind of an undercover carpenter. I always think when I hear that, you know, have you guys seen the television show Undercover Boss? That's an ultimate version of Undercover Boss. Creator of the universe takes on human form and wanders around. And for 30 years, he wandered around. Nobody knew who he was. And then 30 years later, for 3 years, 3.5, he did miracles, raised the dead, proclaimed the gospel, trained 11 disciples. Actually, he trained 12, gave up. And then he was crucified. And when he was crucified, you know how many he had when he died? You guys will probably get this wrong, but how many followers did he have? How many true believers were there on the day Jesus was crucified? I don't believe this answer. None. Not one person believed that he would be raised from the dead. Oh, he had told him that, but they were Christians prior to the crucifixion. Peter was in hiding. John was in hiding. The rest of the disciples had run away. In fact, in the New Testament where it says that one of his disciples, who was with him on the night he was arrested, was in such a hurry to get away, when they reached out and grabbed him, he ran right out of his clothes. Denied him 3 times. He came as one of us, but he was treated as less than one of us. But that is beside the point. For as it is to know that our God came to our planet and stepped into history